Ramona Shelburne and Brian Windhorst wrote an article for ESPN on the Lakers' succession plan going from LeBron James and Luka Doncic and how it's been a little bit tricky. PJ, I don't know if you got a chance to read the article, but I thought it was really, really interesting and how the inner workings of this Luka Doncic new era has been kind of going through things, and how like the Lakers are trying to balance the two of like, hey, like we know that Luka's the future, but then we also want to keep LeBron happy. But there's just no way to do that. There's no way to do both. Like you're going to have to pick a side, and the Lakers, from reading that article, are picking the side of Luka Doncic, as anyone would. Like I love LeBron James, one of my most favorite athletes ever. Love his game, love what he's done for the NBA. Ain't no way in hell I'm siding with LeBron James in a discussion with Luka Doncic. Like Luka's the young guy. LeBron is 41 years old. You cannot look at LeBron and be like, that's our future. No, like he's the past. Luka is the present and the future. And I thought some of the main takeaways from the article that I think are really, really interesting and kind of goes to show you how the Lakers feel about LeBron James and how they feel about Luka Doncic. So the article detailed that after the Lakers lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoffs in 5 games, there was a 4-person meeting at some swanky restaurant in Los Angeles. The people at the meeting, Luka Doncic, his manager, Rob Pelinka, the general manager, and JJ Redick, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. The glaring omission, of course, LeBron James, who used to be the guy at those meetings. Like that in itself is telling you right there, the Lakers have already gone through this transition period and saying, hey, we're looking at Luka as the future face. We are no longer thinking about LeBron James, who every other year in his NBA career has been the main focal point for his NBA team. And in that meeting, they were discussing the future, and Pelinka was explaining to Luka Doncic and his management team the inner workings of the CBA and how they can kind of build around him, build around Luka's strengths. LeBron, once again, not invited at said dinner, or just wasn't at the dinner. I'm assuming he wasn't invited. Otherwise, why wouldn't he show up? But I thought that was really, really interesting. And another nugget on top of that, PJ, before I kick it to you to kind of give us your thoughts on this succession plan that the Lakers are trying to pull off here. The Lakers did not offer LeBron James a contract this summer. And that was a sticking point throughout the article. And I think that's why we got the statement that we got last week via Rich Paul, CEO of Clutch Sports, LeBron James' agent. Because like the last few years, the Lakers have been doing 1 or 2 year extensions with LeBron. Just saying, hey, like we value you. We want you to be around. This year, with 1 year left on his contract, a player option, Lakers crickets. They didn't do anything with LeBron James. LeBron opted into the $52.6 million to play out the rest of his contract. But like, this is the Lakers. They are saying a lot with their actions, not just with the meeting at the swanky restaurant, but also in their inaction of saying, yeah, we're not going to offer you a deal. You can opt in. That's fine. But this is probably it for us this next season. There's not going to be a 2026, 2027 LeBron James as a Los Angeles Laker. I think that's what's very clear after reading that article this afternoon, PJ.
No, I would agree. I think there's, some of this that is a little surprising. A lot of it that really isn't all that surprising, though. Femi, like you were saying, I mean, Luka's obviously the guy, right? I mean, he's one of the best players in the league. You have him in his prime. Like, I mean, truly, Dallas threw the Lakers a lifeline, right? I mean, the Lakers probably had no idea what they were going to do with life after LeBron, obviously hoping that because they were the Lakers, maybe they could attract somebody in free agency, or you hope that you just strike gold with somebody in the draft. But obviously they had nobody on their roster that you looked at and you were like, that's going to be the guy when LeBron leaves. Like, there was nobody like that. And then obviously they make the trade with Dallas. They get Luka, and then just kind of everything changes. And Femi, I don't know if LeBron has truly adjusted to that yet, right? Because like you said, I mean, every year LeBron's been in the league, he's been the guy, and he's been a part of so many of these conversations, whether it's been with Cleveland or Miami or now with the Lakers and with front office, and obviously certainly with the Lakers here in the later stages of his career and kind of building the team how he wants. I think because obviously this trade came so out of the blue and it happened so quickly, and it's just such a rare scenario where you get an all-time great player like LeBron, but then also you have an all-time great player in Luka in his prime, like trying to find that middle ground of keeping LeBron happy because of what he's done for the league, what he's done for your team, won a championship in the bubble, obviously what he can still give you, but obviously also understanding that Luka is now the future and he's now the guy that you have to build around. And the Lakers, like you said, I mean, they're making the statement, right? They're putting their foot down, and for the first time, I think LeBron a little bit is learning that this is a business, and even though you're LeBron James, like, you're still 41, Luka's the guy, and the Lakers are rolling with him. But it's just interesting because I can't, like, really remember another scenario like this where you have an all-time legend for a franchise like the Lakers or, across any sport who's still playing, but then you have this other great, incredible player, and it's kind of putting, like, LeBron in the backseat, like it's not his team anymore, right? Even Jeter, like the later stages in his Yankees career, even though he wasn't Derek Jeter anymore, like it was still every night you were tuning in to see what he would do. The Yankees were centering things around him in his final season. Obviously, same thing with Kobe was with the Lakers. Like, it's just a very interesting scenario to have this going on. So we'll see how it plays out for the rest of the year, but clearly, Femi, like you said, man, the Lakers are making the statement. Luka's their guy. He's at, he's what they're thinking about first and foremost, and we'll see what ends up happening with LeBron at the end of this season. But this might be it with the Lakers if he doesn't retire.
I think that's like the big point there. And like we'll talk about the betting ramifications of this whole thing as well, because I think that's what makes the Lakers win total very tricky, sitting at 47.5 over at BetMGM. Like, those are big expectations in a difficult Western Conference. And now we have what is going to be probably, like, as much as I love LeBron, I can also admit, like, this is like one of the more passive aggressive all-time great players that you'll ever see. This is going to be the most passive aggressive offseason and season, for that matter, with LeBron James doing the cryptic tweets, the leaking of statements or whatever. I think that's what the Lakers are in store for this upcoming year. Like, this is, like, if you think LeBron was doing that stuff in the past with what he was doing in Cleveland and in Miami and even in the early portion of his time in LA, I think it's going to be ratcheted up to 11 because clearly he is not happy with how things are going. And that's where, like, I'll push back against what you said there, PJ. It's like LeBron's kind of knowing that this is a business. I think he's always known that this is a business. The issue right now is that it's no longer on his terms because LeBron has been the guy that has kind of been holding these franchises' feet to the fire, signing these like 1 or 2 year contracts, having all these player opt-outs to where it's like, hey, if you don't do what I do, I'm going to opt out and leave. And like, you had to take him seriously because guess what? He left Cleveland, he left Miami, he left Cleveland again. So like, he had a track record of, if you don't do what he wants, if you're not building the roster how he wants you to build it, he will up and leave. And at the time, all those teams, if you look back on it, that was the prime of his career. That's when it's, oh, this is LeBron James, top player in the NBA. If you have him on your team, you're going to the NBA Finals. That's not the case anymore. The Lakers know that. They know, like, they've had LeBron for the last, like 6 years or whatever it's been, 6-7 years that they've had LeBron James. They've made the finals once. And they won the title, but they've only made it once because LeBron is on the back half of his career. I mean, no, not even on the back half. The guy's on like 17, 18 right now, ready to take his tee shot. Like, we all know the end is near for LeBron James. And I think where LeBron is starting to get ticked off is that there's all these little things that might be little in a vacuum, but when you add them all up, are starting to add up and be like, okay, like, what the heck is going on here? Because the article detailed how LeBron and Anthony Davis, when he was with the Lakers, were always clamoring over the last few years, hey, we need to get a center, because that was the big thing. Anthony Davis did not want to play the center. He wanted to be a power forward. Like, hey, we need a center. We need a center. We need a center. And AD said it a week before he got traded. We need a center. And a sit-down interview with Malika Andrews of ESPN. 1 week later, he's traded to the Dallas Mavericks. And then when they bring in Luka Doncic, the first thing they try to do when they bring in Luka is trade for Charlotte Hornets center Mark Williams. And I think LeBron's like, whoa, I've been saying this for 2-3 years. You guys haven't been listening. You bring in Luka, all of a sudden now you're trading for a center? What the hell's going on? Like, I've been saying this stuff. Like, that happens. And also a smaller one, which the article also detailed as well, when the Buss family sold the majority stake of the Lakers to Mark Walter, they didn't tell LeBron James. They told Luka Doncic. That's why Luka, when the Buss family made that sell, he had the tweet ready to roll. Oh, the Buss family has always been great. We're going to continue the Laker tradition, et cetera, et cetera. LeBron has not publicly acknowledged the sale of the Los Angeles Lakers. Like, these little things are starting to add up, and I think it's why LeBron is starting to get frustrated and why you saw the statement being what it was. And if this is going to be the LeBron that we have to deal with, PJ, I mean, I feel like this is going to nuke the Lakers' chances of being a contender this year. Like, I was saying it earlier this week. We were talking about it with Nick. I'm like, I don't know what to do with the Lakers win total. I'm going to stay away because I don't know what the vibes are going to be. I've changed. I think I'm going under. on this. Like this seems like a bad brew for the Los Angeles Lakers. 47.5 in a tough conference, and now you have this hovering over because no one's going to come and trade for him. Like, I don't see how this team is getting to 48, 49, or even 50 wins. I know they got 50 last year, but that was them getting hot in March. I think that this is going to be an underwhelming season and a tumultuous season for a Lakers team that is sort of in flux here as they're trying to go towards the Luka Doncic era.
See, that's interesting you're going that direction because I was going to throw at you LeBron James 150-1 to win MVP. Do you think this is Aaron Rodgers' year where they drafted Jordan Love to piss him off and then Rodgers won MVP? No, I'm just kidding. But wouldn't it be something?
I was like, let's get spicy.
Wouldn't it be something?
There's not a chance in hell.
No, there's not a chance in hell. There's none. There's no chance. But it would be something if LeBron if he got himself in an MVP conversation.
He finished sixth this past year, so it's not like the craziest thing, but yeah, like he's too old.
Maybe he just gets all pissed and he's like, "You guys want to build around Luka? Okay, watch this," and he just goes out and averages a triple double. Yeah, I don't know what to do with the Lakers either at 47.5. Like you said, I like Redick a lot as a regular season head coach, especially. I think he's a good regular season head coach. Obviously, looks like he has some adjustments to make in the playoffs when he played his entire starting five. That whole second half against Minnesota, probably not the best move. But now with the full off season of Luka, I eventually think this thing will wash over, Femi. Like, at the end of the day, it is the middle of July, right? We still have until like late October until the season starts. LeBron probably not too happy with the organization right now. They still have some time to kind of mend that and get them right going into the season. And look, from a starting lineup standpoint, again, Luka, Austin Reeves, Rui, LeBron, DeAndre Ayton. I understand that's not going to be the five every single night. There's going to be some load management. At 41, you're going to pick and choose your spots with LeBron. You obviously want to make sure Luka is fresh and healthy and that if you go to the playoffs, he's ready to go. So they're going to pick and choose their spots of when to play those guys. But I think the key here is Redick, honestly. Like, I like Redick as a regular season head coach. And I think for the first time in a while, like, the Lakers have a head coach that the players respect, the superstars respect. They play hard for JJ Redick. So I don't know what I would do with the Lakers win total, but I don't think I would be like as ready to bet the under as you. I wouldn't be ready to bet the over also, but like with these stories come out, it's certainly something worth talking about and keeping an eye on. But like it is the middle of July, it reminds me of like all these NFL players that come out to start a free agency, say they want to demand a trade, and then you look up and it's like Deebo Samuel's still playing for the Niners last year. T. Higgins is still with the Bengals. Like all these things happen. I think, as we know, time usually heals wounds. So by the time the season rolls around, the Lakers could be okay. But Femi, I'm just saying, LeBron, 150-1 to win MVP. If you're a believer that this is Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love all over again, and LeBron's ticked off.
Not with your money.
Maybe
Not
he
with
goes
your money,
crazy.
PJ.
No, you wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even do it with your money. It's no. Like,
Okay.
yeah, 500-1 maybe, but 150, no, not even with your money. Usually I would agree with you. Like, hey, like sometimes you get off-season noise. And like we said at the top of this segment, like everyone's looking for content, man. So like, could this just be something that's been drummed up a little bit to make it seem like there's some crazy thing going on with the Lakers? Potentially. I just think we have a big track record of LeBron James and how he operates. And this is a guy that, like, when it gets messy, it can get real messy. And when he's ready to go, he might be ready to go. And I don't think he wants to leave LA because it seems like he really loves LA. I know he's been looking to build a big home out there in Beverly Hills is what it's reported and stuff like that. He loves that area, and like his kids grew up in that area. But I mean, I think he also wants to feel like he has some kind of control over what's going on. It's not going to happen in LA. And I think the problem, PJ, for LeBron is that I don't know where it would happen. Like nobody's going to give you this kind of control that you've had over the course of your career. You're 41 years old. It's kind of time that he comes to terms with that, where it's like, dude, like you kind of have to get in line now. You don't get to dictate the terms. You don't get to go to the swanky dinners. It's now Luka Doncic that does. It's no longer you that's making the decisions for the Los Angeles Lakers or for any team that you end up playing with next season.